Captain Jared Ross gripped the arms of his command chair with white-knuckled tension. It was a simple gesture, but it steadied him against the subtle vibrations humming through the gargantuan bridge of the UNS Genesis. Sweat prickled the back of his neck despite the cool, recycled air. Across the cavernous space, holographic data swirled, casting an eerie blue glow across the tense faces of his crew. Every man and woman held their breath, waiting. Jared didn't blame them. The view screen was a panorama of chaos. 3 Xylari cruisers, their hulls shimmering like obsidian scales, surrounded a lone, defiant human transport ship. Laser barrages and missiles stitched trails of blinding light across the inky black. "Sir, they're hailing again," Lieutenant Miara said, her usual composure replaced with a hint of unease. "Patch it through." Jared clenched his jaw. An alien visage flickered across the view screen. Its bulbous eyes, set within smooth, almost translucent gray skin, fixed on Jared with a mocking glint. 4 tendrils, like thin whips, writhed beneath its wide mouth. Xylari. And if its expression was anything to go by, this commander enjoyed its work. "Human," its voice crackled through the speakers, a strange blend of hissing and guttural sounds. "You have outstayed your welcome in this sector. Surrender your vessel and crew, and we may yet offer mercy." Jared forced the smallest of smiles. Mercy wasn't in the Xylari vocabulary. They were slavers, opportunists thriving on the edges of civilized space. "I'm pretty sure mercy is doublespeak for torture and enslavement," he quipped, the human defiance clear in his tone. Laughter bubbled from the Xylari's throat. "Your kind's primitive sense of humor is noted. It will make conquering you all the more entertaining." "Funny," Jared retorted, because I was about to say the same thing. His grin widened as the Xylari commander's smugness faltered briefly. With a curt nod, Jared cut the transmission. "Comms, broadcast on all frequencies, shipwide and open channels," Jared commanded. "You know the drill." A chorus of "Aye, sir," echoed back. A strange tension filled the air, a cocktail of fear and unbridled excitement. Moments later, the booming tones of AC/DC's Thunderstruck blared over speakers, a tradition as old as human spaceflight itself. Jared couldn't help but smirk. It was time to rock. The Genesis wasn't supposed to be a warship. It was a testament to human engineering, a beacon of hope for their fledgling spaceborne civilization. Its primary mission was exploration, yet Earth knew the galaxy wasn't empty. They'd played the peaceful explorer for too long. It was time to show their teeth. The first tremor ran through the mighty ship like a shiver. The bridge crew locked eyes, the energy in the room crackling. Jared felt it in his bones. This was more than the engines gearing up. This was something primal, something new. "Engineering to the bridge? The drive is a go. We're hitting critical mass." Chief Martinez's voice, usually a laid-back drawl, was laced with awe. Jared couldn't tear his gaze from the view screen. The Xylari cruisers were a study in controlled aggression. He'd been in more skirmishes with these slavers than he cared to count. They were ruthless and smart, but overconfident. Humans had been dismissed for too long, seen as a backwater curiosity, too primitive to be a threat. A sphere of impossibly dense energy formed near its bow as the Genesis thrummed. It was eerily beautiful, shimmering like a twisted black opal wreathed in filaments of blue light. Jared knew better. This wasn't just some dazzling light show. It was weaponized physics, ready to unleash hell. "Target lock acquired. Firing solution optimal," Lieutenant Miara reported, her hands flying over her console. Jared gave a single nod, the word catching in his throat. "Fire!" The Genesis let out a pulse that defied description. No sound, no concussion. Just a ripple in space-time itself, where the energy sphere had been. It struck the main Xylari cruiser with terrifying precision. The mighty warship didn't explode. It wasn't vaporized or torn asunder. It simply blinked out of existence with a subtle pop. Then, utter silence descended on the bridge of the Genesis. The Zalari on the remaining cruisers were a flurry of frantic movement. The predatory confidence had vanished, replaced by pure animal terror. Humans didn't have this kind of power, and they shouldn't have it. Sir, the Zalari are scattering. They're jumping to FTL. Miar's voice held a note of disbelief. Jared let a slow breath escape. He'd gambled everything on this secret project. After years of research and clandestine development, it worked. Earth had its ace in the hole. That's good, he replied, his voice quiet, tinged with the thrill of battle and a new intoxicating taste of power. Let them spread the word. Let them know that the era of dismissing humanity is over. The aftermath was short and brutal. The unarmed transport ship was rescued, its crew shaken but alive. Zalari prisoners were taken, their arrogance replaced by bewilderment and creeping fear. Earth had been written off as weak and dismissed as insignificant. Now, the tables had turned. The news hit known space like a thunderclap. The Genesis, its mere existence whispering of terrifying scientific potential, became a boogeyman. Whispered in the shadows of space stations and alien taverns. Some races scrambled to forge alliances with these upstart humans. Others eyed Earth with newfound wariness. Captain Jared Ross became both a hero and a pariah. To humans, he embodied defiance, their champion in an uncaring universe. To others, he was reckless, a harbinger of an unsettling shift in the galactic order. Yet, nobody could deny the change. Earth had its shield, but also its sword. And fear was a powerful motivator. Long-stalled and condescending negotiations suddenly gained new momentum. Trade agreements, hesitant in the past, were now pursued with curious haste. A new era hesitantly dawned, one where treaties were revisited, covert weapons research by other species escalated, and ambassadors to Earth walked a little more carefully, a healthy dose of respect coloring their diplomacy. For Captain Ross, it was a strange sensation. He'd longed for the day when humanity was respected, not patronized. That day had arrived in a blinding flash of their own making. The galaxy was vast, filled with wonders and dangers, and humans had earned their place not with diplomacy, but with a terrifying display of sheer force. He leaned back in his chair, the Genesis humming with quiet power beneath him. It was a victory born of necessity, a bittersweet triumph. The universe had finally taken notice of Earth. And just like the rumble that foreshadows the storm, they had felt the first tremors of human potential.